and it may be some days before I'm back.
Okay. In my 40s right now, I'm trying to enjoy the quality of things.
Yeah.
You know. Welcome back to another episode of It's Always Something. On today's topic is sex after 40 and what they don't tell you.
Girl, they didn't tell me nothing before sex, so.
They tell you before
They
40?
They didn't tell me before 40. They didn't tell me during 40. They didn't tell me after.
I know that's the truth. Okay. So what's your thoughts about that? Sex over 40 and what they don't tell you on a woman's perspective. I really think this is a topic for a man and a woman, so that you can have some kind of real dialogue about it. But just considering just us being women here, my drive is like this. My drive is up and down. It's up and down. It's very much up and down. I have my moments where I'm just like, okay. And then I have other moments like, don't touch me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I didn't think it was going to be like that. I was in my prime in my 20s. When the 30s came, it became a little rocky.
Okay.
And by the time I hit 40, it was like, just forget it.
It slowed down for you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me see.
I mean, it's the drive is still there.
Okay.
But I'm like you. I'm on a roller coaster.
Okay.
If I want it at 10:05, I want it at 10:05. If you wait to 10:06, I'm
That's
over
it. Oh, wow.
It's not that quick, but I'm just saying.
No, I feel you.
Yeah,
because when
over.
you say that, I'm like that too. I want it right now.
Yeah.
But if you wait an extra 5 minutes, I'm out the mood.
Yeah.
I'm seriously out the mood. It's crazy how your age transition, how things go. Because I can tell you, when I was in my 20s, I wasn't so much like active, really wanting to. And I think maybe that played a part because I was married. And not in a bad sense, like, I didn't want to have, sex with my husband or nothing like that. But it was just like, life was lifing, you know what I mean? Like, we was moving I was to say on the run, we ain't no Bonnie and Clyde here. But, we was, shucking and driving, you know what I'm saying? Life was lifing. But then when I got divorced, girl, it was like I was just about to hit 30. And my 30s was like my 20s. And that's probably because, I think that's what it was for me. Maybe that's what it was for me.
Maybe.
Because, of course, my teenage year, you live teenage life.
Girl, yes.
But when I got to 40, I'm going to be very, very transparent. When I got to 40, I was in a relationship. I wasn't really like, I wanted to. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it had a lot to do with I started losing sexual attraction to the person.
Yes.
So it almost felt like it was just it was a transaction for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was to hurry up and get up and go. You know what I mean? Okay, go about your business.
I get it.
But now that I'm moving into my 50s, I see different, and it's more so I want the quality than the quantity. Right.
Oh, yeah, I definitely get that. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm aggressive, but if I don't get it, then I don't want it.
Okay.
And it may be some days before I'm back to it again.
I feel you on that.
Because with we got the younger kids, so it's a lot of things going on.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't want to put, like most people say, well, I got to put time on the calendar when we're going to have sex. I don't want to do that.
I would never do that.
I don't want to do that. I like spontaneous.
Yeah, don't pencil me in nowhere. No, it won't even. That's the most boringest that can ever take place.
I clearly, but girl, when I was younger, I hear him pulling up to the house. Girl, I'd be jumping up, ready to be at the door.
Listen,
girl, I'd be ready before he.
The words of my mama say, "Go swap the deck." Swap the deck real quick, But yeah, no. When I turned, I was not in a relationship in my mid 40s. I'll say that. I can't even remember how long ago it was, to be very honest with you. I just, it's not a matter of lost track of time. It's just like some things you just want to block out your life, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, but I do vividly remember turning 40 and not really wanting to be active with that person. But that's crazy because after all that, after, him and meeting somebody else, it was like, I guess because it was new.
Yeah.
you know, then the thrill was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's more so, you know, I need that quality.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, menopause plays a big part.
Oh, does it?
And don't act like you ain't started.
I haven't. Let's keep it going. I haven't.
You ain't started menopause
I
yet?
have not.
I don't believe that.
I
Pre-menopause. How old are you? Transparent.
44.
44?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have not. My mother, my mama passed when she was 50. She had not gone through menopause.
Wow.
My auntie is 73. She has not gone through menopause.
Okay. So
yeah.
So let me ask you this question, because menopause is different, and I ain't trying to put, you know, auntie stuff on her. Auntie still got a cycle.
Yes.
At 70?
Yes, ma'am.
She better go get that checked out.
Girl. I
That's
said,
crazy.
Auntie, can you still have babies? She said,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, ooh, Auntie, why?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought she had all that. No.
Wow.
But that is in our family. Unless you get your tube side and stuff, yeah.
Oh,
it's
wow.
long. Yeah, I was surprised too. Because I'm like, I do not want to go through that.
I know it's a history in my family of menopause starting early. I can remember my mom in her early ages started, you know, her, you know, menopause. But I know for me, I've been going through it for probably about 5.5 years now. But I'm getting to like my strongest point and part of it, you know, where it's the hot flashes, it's the irritation, it's the, I noticed it now, you know, more so than I did before. But yeah, that plays a major part
I didn't know that.
in sex in the 40s. I wonder how men feel. I don't know if men are sexually active, or does it spark something for them once they turn 40. But I just, my thoughts is that men who get to 40 decide they want to be hoes. When women get to 40s and they decide, you know, I'm ready to settle down, you know, and get some quality stuff. This is what I see. I don't know how true it is, but in my world, that's how I see it. The most men that I've met, especially 40 and older, it's just like you trying to run through women.
Okay. Yeah, I think from what I've heard, it's the total opposite.
For a woman?
Yeah, women spark up and men go down when they reach 40, 50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, from what people have told me and from what I've seen, I'm like, well, it ain't happening over here.
It ain't
happening over here.
No?
No.
At all?
At all. He like 18 again. And I'm
no,
like,
I don't need all that.
I don't got the energy.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
I really, because it's just, we got too much going on.
I'm tired of driving from here to home.
Yeah.
And then be talking about
girl,
all that.
I'll be tired before I even get up.
Now, there's a thing of being, now, I will tell you, once I have gotten in my 40s, I have appreciated more the intimacy of things. And when I say that, like the, if you will, foreplay, not in a sexual way, you know, the touching, the kissing, the kiki,
the lovey-dovey.
Yeah, the lovey-dovey stuff, you know what I'm saying? I can appreciate that more when before then it was just like, dude, I ain't got time for you to touch me. Let's just do what we gotta do, and let's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get that, because I was like that. I
really?
didn't want to, I did not like being touched like that.
Really?
I was ready to get the job done, get it done, and you going on about your business.
She said you going about your business.
That's
that
how
was
it was. Out anywhere. I'm countrified. I'm Southern Belle, Sugar Belle.
that ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing.
Southern hospitality. Yeah, but that's what it is. You know, I didn't like being touched, and I think some of it had to come with my upbringing as well. Not seeing the physical, you know, chemistry between a man and a woman.
Okay.
So
that could play a major part.
Yeah, it can. So yeah,
But I always thought in my mind, people who've not gone through that. Okay, let me give scene. Okay, you're younger. You don't see people in your life that gives you, I guess, a blueprint of how relationship, if you will, should look like. You know, the affection. There you go. The affection towards, you know, one another looks like that. We seek that when you get older. Yes. So that was opposite for you. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But now that I'm older, I want those things.
But you got a husband, though, so I mean, okay.
Yeah. But see, you have to remember also, that's how he is. He grew up in a family like that. Touching and hugging.
So he's used to seeing
kissing you, and all that kind of stuff. So when he would do it, I'm like, why? Why are you doing all? I don't need all that. So he stopped doing it. It's there,
And now
but it's
you want
not
it.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, but now I want it.
Do you think that plays a major part in not necessarily in marriage, just relationship overall? What you see in your household, you almost want to emulate that when you get into a relationship. Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Or vice versa. What you don't see is what you become accustomed to.
Yeah. Because it's like you know you want these things, but when you don't know how to take it.
Okay.
Or you don't know how to express it. I want to show you I love you, but I don't know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that I know how to do it and I want it, it's like a little harder to get because now it's like
hesitant on things.
Because, I mean, you know, I'm at a different age level. You know, I'm at a different time in my life than what he is. You know,
okay,
together,
elaborate on that.
So it's like with the sex. I don't want it, you want it.
Okay.
Your drive is way...
Like y'all on two different timelines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way different than mine.
But your ass still be bending over though.
I sure do. How you want it?
No, I can say once I turn 40, I think, 40, I mean, hell, again, I'm 49. I'm very transparent with it. And I will just say once I've gotten to my 40s, I'm just I'm here to, in my 40s right now, I'm trying to enjoy the quality of things.
Yeah.
You know, in my 30s, it was, I don't want to say quantity because that sounded like almost some whole shit. Yeah, right. So it wasn't so much of that, but I was living my life. I mean, hell, we grown. Hell, but at the end of the day, yeah.
I think that goes back to another episode that we talk about, does size even matter? Does it really matter?
How do you?
Because when you get to a certain age, like you said, you're looking for the quality. Maybe the quality doesn't come with the size, if that makes sense to you.
No, repeat that.
If the quantity doesn't come with the size. So you don't want itty bitty, but it may not be the size that you are normally accustomed to as being humongous, if you want to say that. But it may be humongous. Whatever, go. I'm trying to picture this.
Yeah, I was trying to draw the picture because I'm like, you know, here, or here. I remember the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that can play a major part in it as well. But I think once you get a certain age, especially when you get over 40, I don't think you're looking for huge anymore. Again, back to the quantity, the quality of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some people, you know, get to 40 and, I mean, you can like flip-flop. You can be joyous and like the foreplay things. Or some people get to 40 and be like, let me just get it and go to bed because I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, so it just depends on who you are, where you are in life, and who you with makes a major, it's a major factor in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You got some 40-year-olds out here, they jackrabbit.
Yeah.
They all over the place. I like I said, I know a few people who's in their 40s. And I mean, to each his own. I mean, what you choose to do is what you choose to do.
I just think it just depends on the person, the situation, the environment. It just all depends on those things and what you're looking for. I'm not looking to do stuff like that. You know, I'm looking to be pleasured. I'm looking to be happy within my relationship, but it doesn't have to be all about that.
So what do you think it has to always be about? Or what do you think that it has to be about?
I need other qualities.
Such
as? It's not all about sex. I need stability.
Come on.
I need confidence. And I need to feel like that I'm wanted.
Okay.
That's the major thing. I have to feel that I'm wanted in this relationship. Because
is that being wanting to be validated or wanted?
Wanted.
Okay.
The feel of being wanted, because I know what it feels like to be unwanted.
Right. Okay.
And I do not want that in my relationship. Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Absolutely.
That was a nice little topic to talk about.
It was.
One of my friends gave me that topic. I'm gonna see how that rolls. Because I think the person who gave me this topic right here is at a stage where they just want to hump around. You know what I mean? And it's just like, why? At what point do you settle down?
But settling down isn't for everybody. So
no, you got that right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just, I can't argue that.
Yeah, so you can't say why, because I mean, when we were younger, we did. You know, we did what we did. You know, so we live life.
That's true.
Trust and believe.
Some people didn't have that opportunity to live
Right.
that, so and I get that.
So they're doing it now.
I get that, but my thing is, if you're not ready to settle down, then don't involve yourself in people who are ready to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, what you mean? On the topic?
Yeah.
What's that topic gonna be?
We'll talk about that later.
Why are we talking about that? You got a whole husband.
Girl, okay, I know I got a whole husband.
So why would we be having that topic?
Because we'll talk about that later.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Christina gonna come up with a different topic. We might just cut and go to it right now.
Right.
You want to do that?
Go ahead.
We can do that. Okay. Well, again, we just wanted to tap on that topic real quick. Just to figure out, where you at the age of 40. You know what I'm saying? Sexually, if you will, and what they don't tell you. This is what I will run down. They don't tell you when you turn 40. For some of us, menopause kicks in. So yeah, sex is going to look a whole lot different on a woman's aspect. Now, some women may be very sexually active. You got some women who are not sexually active.
Right.
Things are toss-ups. Once you turn 40, it's almost like you flipping a pancake.
Mm.
What I liked 6 years ago may not be what I like today. Excuse me. So
and that's fair.
excuse me. It is.
That is absolutely fair. And I just think that you need to remember that when you're in a relationship or when you're deciding to be with somebody, that you may not be on the same spectrum when it comes to sex. So
how do you do that? Because we was about to end this, but how do you do that? How do you be with someone and things just change? Let's just say you're in a relationship. I'm going to use you as an example. You're married. And you guys have longevity in your marriage. Mm-hmm. You're in two different spaces as far as your sex level, if you will. So how do y'all handle that? Being married, that you are more of mild down and he is just like, ramped up. So, when I say ramped up, I don't mean in a nasty way, but he's very much more sexually active than you are. How do you deal with that?
Well, at first it was that we had to communicate because I didn't know.
What do you mean when you say you didn't know? Like you couldn't understand why he was the way? Okay.
Right. And I didn't understand the changes that I was going through. So when you don't see these things, when nobody's talking to you about these things, there's no outlet, you don't know. So you thinking there's something wrong with him, but you good. So, but there's nothing wrong with either one of us. We're just at a different level in our lives as far as it goes sexually. Okay. So we had to have that talk. We had to break it down and see what was what. Why was he going left and I'm going right? Okay. But it didn't mean that we're not together in the marriage.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, so we had to figure that piece out.
So what common ground, and not to get too deep into it, but what common ground did you come to when you had to figure out, he had to figure out, and you had to figure out, okay, I'm here and you're here. Where do we meet in the middle so that we can still cohese together where I'm at and where he's at?
Yeah, so we had to compromise.
Okay.
We had to compromise.
What did that look like?
So how many times a week are you good with? Okay. If you're wanting 5 and I say I can do 3, then we can compromise right there. Maybe we'll just do 3 this week.
Okay, so we can switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes to the point that you don't even know that you're switching up or what's going on, because it just may be to the point that I'm just really happy pleasing you. Because you find other ways to please me. Okay. And it doesn't have to be sexually. All right. It's other ways, spending time with me, talking to me, catering to me in certain different ways. Okay.
Well, there's an answer right there. Compromise. With that being said, if you 40 and older and you trying to figure it all out, it ain't to be figured out. Life is life. It's for the other person to understand. Exactly. Women go through a whole lot when you start hitting, and when I don't want to just say 40 because I know some people who's gone through menopause at 30, just depending on, their time, So, I think, especially when a woman turns 40, men got to be more understanding on where women is. A woman whose sex drive has dropped versus a woman whose sex drive that has increased. Now, increasing still can be a problem because you got some men out there who don't have a high sex drive. Yeah. That libido ain't working.
No point in life.
Right. Well, I don't want to say no point in life.
We're just talking about some, and we're not going to characterize everybody in one bucket, then it is. some men do not have a sex drive. Some women do not.
That's true. I mean, okay, we gonna, if you want to throw it that way, I mean, absolutely. But I'm just saying, we got to be more understanding as to where we are, and then you got to have that conversation with that person that you with.
Yeah.
You know, where are you at sexually on the level aspect? You know, on the level scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we can either meet each other there, or if we're not at the same place, then maybe you and I need not to be together.
That's
you know,
true. At least give that person the option.
Right. I think that's where a lot of cheating comes in at.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a whole nother thing going. That's not even a whole nother topic, but that's a piece of it. You turn 40, then all of a sudden a woman don't feel like having as much of sex as she used to, and a man creeps out and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know, a man want to have more sex. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, y'all get where I'm coming from with it. But yeah, so I think that a lot of cheating comes from that because they don't sit down and have that understanding.
Exactly.
My body is changing.
Yeah.
Hell, that happens when you have a baby.
Yes.
So you take a baby, you take menstrual, you take being a mother, you take all these aspects, all these things, and you line them all up. You get to a certain age, and some things you just don't want to do no more, or some things that you didn't do that you want to do.
Yep, that's true.
Hey, with that being said, listen, just because you're 40 don't mean you gotta stop fucking. It just means you gotta figure out how you gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? How many
It's gonna
times?
be the same, but it's gonna be a little different.
That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate quality than quantity.
Yeah.
With that being said, we're going to wrap this video up. Make sure you guys go check out our website at sugarbellco.com, www.sugarbellco.com. I'll pick you up some products. There's some new stuff that's on there. I mean, everything is on there. You know, hit us up. Let us know if there's anything that you're looking at or that you're looking for. There's still some things that we're still sitting at the table deciding what we want to do. Yeah, let us know. With that being said, you got anything you want to say at the end of this video?
Thanks for the support.
She said thanks for the support. Christina been sitting here with her hands closed like this right here. Because I told Christina she better not put her hands on me no more. I had to put that out there.
Yeah.
Look.
She didn't call me a bitch today either.
Oh, not next video. Watch. I ain't going to check. Content is content. Don't put your motherfucking hands up. You hit your kids when they was little. You was a pauper.
Yes.
Okay, you could tell. Yo, I ain't your child.
That's okay.
You gonna get fucked up. With that being said, we are out. Peace.